Now that we have pretty much gotten through all of the major modules or major chapters within Module 1, Nonverbal Communication, we're now down to the last step, which is something we'll do from this course forward, and that's a discussion board assignment. And because this is an extensive class on all types of communications, we're just kind of looking at this first one as a way to get you acclimated into using the campus and how all the different assignments and everything work. Generally speaking, the discussion board will always address the hard skills associated with the type of communication that we're studying. And the individual assignments are going to work on your soft skills that are associated with each subject. So in this case, nonverbal communication is almost entirely a soft skill. So there's not a lot of hard skills on which for us to focus in this first class. So because nonverbal discussion will be discussed at great length within the individual assignment, the primary focus here is to make it one of your hard skills to always be aware of the nonverbal aspect of communication in any work environment. And by making awareness a part of your hard skills that you will use throughout your career, you'll be able to work for any firm, any company that you need to, because they'll become part of your personal management toolkit. It's not a skill that only works for one company, it's a skill that works throughout your career. And for this module's assignment, we're going to use a format which allows us to study this subject in a manner similar to other studies that we may be asked to perform on a regular basis. So think of it kind of like as if your project manager came to you and said, I need a study of this. That's very similar to what we're going to do for this discussion board. We're going to create an assignment for you to go out, research the information, and then submit back to us your understanding of it and your idea of what could be done to make it better. And then it's going to be in the same format that you're going to use throughout your career. So as we work through the skills of nonverbal communication, we begin to see things that we really never noticed before. And that's the primary purpose for this module. By improving your listening skills to include body language and many of the other soft skills you're gaining control of, it serves you better as well as your company, because you've improved your listening skills to include body language that allows you to see a little bit more of what's going on than just the words themselves. And in this module, we have discussed many things with a primary focus on the 8 categories of nonverbal communication. And if you need to, refer back to Chapter 2 of the videos, and it goes through each one of those individual categories, so it can kind of help you get back to it. But the assignment for this discussion board is strictly an observatory study. And with our assignments, there are no grades. It's really just intended to get you into noticing the aspects of nonverbal communication on a hands-on basis, and then formulate your own study of that which you've observed. So we're going to continue forward, and there are several ways to observe nonverbal language. And depending on your learning style, you'll figure out something so that you can keep track of how many times in a day did you notice this specific thing, or a gesture here, or a proxemics issue over here, or was this a person that actually violated a haptic rule or whatever. You'll be able to see all that, and kind of what our idea is to try and formulate how many times you see this and how well did it work for the people that were using those nonverbal skills. And because there are so many things to be observed that we take for granted, we have created this assignment just to make that process as easy as possible for you, and at the same time give you the freedom to study the subject in your own way. Because nonverbal is a soft skill, you're going to have to do it on your own. Now, and here's just an idea of how you can easily come up with a study on this. And if you take the top of your notepad and just drop the following categories at the top. And so we have facial expressions, gestures, paralinguistics, body language, proximities, on and on and on. And you just put that up at the top, and every time you see somebody do that, just put a little line underneath facial expressions or gestures or whatever it may be. So then you're going to actually have a notebook with a specific meeting that you're probably taking notes in, as well as you're taking notes on how the nonverbal worked in that room. And by simply placing a check mark under each category, we can start studying how this nonverbal communication works in regards to your peers, your clients, and your employees. So really what we're saying is we're looking for you guys to kind of do a study based on these 8 items. How often do you see them? How well do they come across? How well do you do them, perhaps? You know, are you very good at your facial expressions? You know, some people are really heavy on artifacts. They may have the nicest suits in the world to pretend or to present themselves at a certain level. So you're going to be able to see all that stuff by just taking a little note and just making little click notes on the top of your notebook. Now, I have to say, you know, there's a lot of you guys that don't use notepads anymore. And so really you're going to have to kind of figure out on your own way how you want to do it using modern technology. For me, it'd be pretty easy to set it up in a cell phone, and I could just kind of click it off, depending on how I'm taking my data, how I'm actually documenting that data. But once you begin to collect your data, you will find that different circumstances will have different results. And by studying your in-house staff meetings and comparing those results to your weekly job site meetings, which have many other subcontractors in it, you're going to see how the tone and the change of nonverbal communication changes from one environment to another. And that's an important thing for you to kind of notice as well, because after a while, once you've noticed it for 5 or 10 years, you're going to be really good at just being able to walk in and immediately know what's up in front of you before you even really open your mouth. So, you know, because this assignment is focused towards opening your awareness of the nonverbal aspect of communication, each one of you guys are going to come up with an understanding of how these skills can be used in your communication. And it's really all about you to make you a professional project engineer. So to complete this assignment, just present your study findings in whatever format makes the best sense to you, and complete this observation study by adding a short narrative as to what your studies have uncovered and how these findings can help you in your own communication skills. And then once you've done that, all you need to do is click on the message button at the very top of your academy, and then just create a message for us and say to admin, and we'll pick it up immediately, and then we'll give you some feedback on it, at least, you know, saying, yeah, we got it, it looks really good, or, you know, if you have some questions you want to ask as part of your study, go ahead and add those in there, and we'll answer those for you as well. And then that should get you to a point where at least you have some good hands-on understanding of the subject before we move into the individual assignment. So I wish you all the best, and we can't wait to see all your different observatory studies.